Hello everyone, and welcome back to another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle video. My name is DFree. Here today we're going to go ahead and take a look at Physical BROLY, who is now going to be EZAing in the next couple of days on the Japanese version of the game. Hope you guys enjoy. Of course, hit that subscribe if you're new for more content. Also, I want to point out that Hydros and I did a what if EZA for this character. You guys can go back and review it, see how close we were a few months back. That will also be down below for you guys to check out. So the EZA information for this character was officially announced on the Twitter today, and my man Goresh, the homie Goresh, has already translated it, so we're going to go ahead and talk about that here. But first I want to take a look at the initial character, and we'll compare it a little bit. So 3 key 70%, just supreme damage, attack plus 7,000, and attack with an additional super attack when key is 8 or more. So that is how that unit was able to function. So going over to the way he is now, here's the official Twitter post, by the way, for anybody interested. So leader skill, 4 key and 100% to physical types. We knew that was going to be a thing, right? Passive is 80% attack and defense, and key plus 4 when key is 8 or more. Perform an additional super attack, plus 2% critical hit chance for each attack performed, max of 40. So let's go ahead and break this down yet again. I'm going to dissect this individually. So 80% is exactly, I believe, what Hydros and I gave him. I thought that was basically what he was going to get, right? I thought that was the best way to handle him, changing him from flat boost to percentage base. I felt like as well he needed to have a defense boost at the start of the turn just because of the way things are nowadays in the game, and that's exactly what he got. So that's fine. They go ahead and shore up some of the defense deficiency for the unit. I do want to point out that the stats that he had in our video were the exact stats he will have, which I believe he still has under 10k defense. I don't know if that's been mapped out here yet, no. But I believe he has just under 10k defense because his defensive stat is still very low, so 80% is not spectacular. But we're also going to get to the super attack in a little bit because that also does help supplement that. So key plus 4 when key is 8 or more. This is also very important because how he functioned previously is when he had 8 or more key, he was able to guarantee an additional super attack. So if you did not have 8 key, he would not do the additional super attack. But the way he is now, at least if from my recollection, correct me if I'm mistaken, if anything at all is mistaken, but the way he functions here is when he gets to 8 key, he actually gives himself 4 key, meaning he would get the initial super attack and still do an additional super attack. So that's very good because if I recall correctly, it's been a while since I've used the unit, seriously anyway, there were times where I would get to like 8 key because the key for whatever reason was bad. I'd get to exactly 8 or like 9, and then from there would not launch the initial attack as a super, of course, because you missed the super attack, but you would still get the additional super. So this here would allow for 2 super attacks basically. So he's basically guaranteed 2 supers, assuming you can get to 8 key, which is very easy to do. Very easy to do nowadays, especially, right? Also, plus 2% chance to do a critical hit with each attack performed. So 2% per hit. He's doing at least 2 attacks per turn. You can go ahead and invest in additional, so he at least gets a free level 5 as a physical unit, right? Obviously, you probably want to invest in critical hits, but that's up to you. But 2% per each time it stacks, so up to a maximum of 40. Actually, you know what? Since it stacks so much, you still probably want to invest a little bit in crit, but no one would blame you if you don't. But it's, I guess with this, in the way built-in crit units work or like super effective type units work, mainly this applies to the Gogeta units just because they're guaranteed to be super effective, and the modifier for crit versus super effective is not exactly the same, but it's close enough. You generally want to give Gogeta units additional attack, right? Basically every other unit, you know, you want to give a critical investment, but then there are the units that are kind of in between that have a crit chance, like this guy, and it's kind of a situation where it comes down to playstyle. If you want to have more crits, obviously you want to go for crit, but I would say with him, I'd probably just invest in additional mainly and a little bit of crit, just a little bit. They don't stack or anything like that, but just a little bit. So the super attack. So raises attack and defense and causes supreme damage to the enemy. So he's still supreme damage. So that's the thing. But let's go ahead and also talk about that. The fact is now, this is something that's very good, and this will allow for this unit to age very well. And it's not a big deal that he's still supreme, and the reason why is because, for one, he's an EZA unit. He's benefiting from the higher level, higher stats, super attack level 15, right? Also, he's already getting 80% of the start of the turn. He's basically guaranteed at least 2 attacks, and 2 of which will be super attacks. He's also going to have a very high crit chance, especially in a harder event like the Goku event, where he should max that out pretty much, right? It shouldn't be too hard to max that out. And with each super attack, and again, consider he'll do generally at least 2, assuming you don't get that third from the potential. In return, with each super attack, he raises his attack and defense indefinitely. I'm going to assume that's either a 20% or 30%, probably 20% raise each turn, to the point where Supreme gets offset pretty much. You know, he's not going to do a crazy amount of damage, but he's going to do crits. He's going to be stacking attack. He's going to be doing multiple supers. Really, this is another scenario, just like when he released, of them being aware of, to say the least, right, of like the potential of this unit. And that's why I said in my initial breakdown that I didn't think they would do too much to him, because he very easily becomes a phenomenal unit. So now the question becomes, like, if you look at the actual Broly characters in the game, do you actually allow him to usurp, as far as the other characters concerned, your usage of other characters, right? Now, the thing about this pool of legendary Super Saiyan Brolys is, you know, obviously this one's a transforming one, so he doesn't technically count here. And then, of course, you have the Super Saiyan Broly that you would be running in place of this one. Now, you really only are choosing between physical and the 2 STR types. I'd say for practical reasons, physical now is the best legendary Super Broly, legendary Super Saiyan Broly, excuse me. And then other than that, this one is the best one, obviously, for World Tournament. He's always going to be really good there. Also going to still do a ton of damage offensively because of an LR and all that stuff. But I'd say for practical reasons, this one would be the best one overall, personally, in my opinion. STR kind of gets left on the wayside because he's just not as impressive. And overall, he doesn't have this extra whole portion of the passive that the new one has. Guaranteed attack, crit chance. This one really doesn't stand a chance, to be honest. He's been power crept hard, which is exactly what happened whenever the physical one was released anyway, so it's not a surprise. But this one doesn't even have the links. That's the thing. The new one at least has prepare for battle and works out a little bit better. So ultimately, though, I'm incredibly excited about that. I think that's a very well optimized upgrade for this unit. Now, when it comes down to the teams he's applicable to, overall, when it comes to full power, I would still consider him on that team as well. The thing about full power is their best leader would be the other Broly anyway, so you have really good synergy between Broly characters if you wanted to do that. Same thing for movie bosses as well, and Pure Saiyans is a very good category, assuming that you do have access to some of the better linking options for this Broly specifically anyway. So that's ultimately it. Very excited about this. Again, it should be coming out on the 11th. Huge shout out to Goresh as well as always for the translations. Thank you all for tuning in. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll catch all of you guys, excuse me, in the next one. Take it easy, everybody. And I'm about to go to sleep. It is like 1:30 a.m. and I'm tired as hell. So anyways, I have some summons that are going to go up tomorrow morning. Stay tuned for that for the SS4s, and I'll catch all of you in the next one.